Super excited for this one. Last time I was at this show, I think it was December. It was an awesome show. So much cool vintage stuff. Great organization, great show. Really excited for this one. It's a 2-day show. I'm here just for Saturday though. You can see my dad there in the background. There he is. Hey, Dad. And so super excited for this show. And let's see what we got inside. And as we walk on into the show, I love the sound of a card show. People talking, checking out cards. Always fun to get a good look. This is the first, there are 2 rooms actually. That was room number 1. Right off the bat, first table I look at, some cool autographs. There's a Yastrzemski autograph and some big-time Hall of Fame memorabilia cards. Those are always cool. See a 61 Jim Brown there. Hasn't been put out. Unbelievable case here. You got an Oscar Robertson, a Lou Alcindor, a Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, Elgin Baylor in 7s and 8s. And you got that Satchel Paige. You got a nice mantle. I mean, this is a high-end, high-value case right off the bat. Second table I check out. And the vintage stuff is not just there. It's high-end stuff. I've never been to a show that had more T206 cards, as you will see, as this show. And look at the condition of those ones. Unreal. You got a Gibson rookie, a Drysdale rookie, a Yastrzemski rookie, Joe Morgan rookie, Reggie Jackson rookie. I mean, this is there was not just vintage at this show. It was high-end stuff, high-grade stuff all over the place. You probably have seen these before. A couple companies do them. You got Warren Spahn autograph, Willie Stargell, Louis Aparicio, Ralph Kiner, a bunch of Hall of Fame and star player autographs. And he was just asking between $15 and $25 for these. I really like this kind of stuff. I was really thinking about maybe grabbing a couple of them. The problem is they're a weird size, and you can't really display them. That Monty Irvin was one of the ones I was really interested in. You can't really display them that well. They're just a hard size, so I don't know. You got this Killebrew right there. I think he wanted $20 for or something. Catfish Hunter there. Unreal. Now, at the last show, there was a dealer here, Justin. Super nice guy. This is the first look at one of his tables. He has a ton of T206 cards. I will share his information here in a little bit later in the video. I make 2 or 3 stops at his table because his quality and his quantity of stuff is just really, really great. You can see a mantle there. That Monty Irvin at the top corner caught my eye. The Warren Spahn I take a look at later as well. Just lots of 55s here, 56s. And again, Justin is just such a nice guy. We'll be back here in a few. And this case is just like, Banks rookie, Aaron rookie, just one after another. Maris rookie, you got a 53 Berra up there. You've just, a Gibson rookie. I think there's a Killebrew rookie over to the right there. A Pete Rose rookie signed. It's just an unbelievable amount of high-end stuff. Now, this dealer is a non-sport dealer and could not have been a nicer guy.
I have one graded card, okay. That's why.
Okay.
And
awesome.
Such a good guy. I could have spent an hour talking to him.
The original
In fact, I may have spent an hour talking to him.
How much does that cost?
15.
So he had a big pile of 1952 look-and-sees. If you're not familiar with look-and-sees, they are made by Topps, 1952 Topps, and they're on historical figures. And I have quite a few of them. I really like them. And the same artist that did the 52 Topps baseball cards was commissioned to do the 52 Topps look-and-sees. So I have a bunch of the different politicians. I think about a couple weeks ago, I bought a George Washington. I've got a Paul Revere. So I'm always looking for these. If they're centered with nice corners, I'll usually grab one if they're at a decent price. He had some good ones, but they tended to be ones that I already had. He had quite a few as we keep looking through them. But they're anywhere from inventors to scientists to political figures to war heroes. And they're worldwide figures. And I just like the looks of them. I have a Winston Churchill. This Gandhi caught my eye. It had pretty good centering, decent corners. I almost pulled the trigger on that one.
How many different cars there were. So just a poor attempt by me to go.
The more expensive ones, Queen Elizabeth is expensive in this set. Abraham Lincoln, which I still haven't gotten, is an expensive one. Einstein. Those are three of the bigger ones in the set. So whenever I see any of these, I'll check them out. I probably have 10 of them or so. But always looking to add. If you're interested in any non-sport guy, you could have spent a lot of time here. Again, such a nice guy. This Amelia Earhart was beautiful. It was in a 7. I'd like to have it, but a little outside my price range at this point for a look and see, but really nice card. So then I headed over. This guy had tons and tons, literally boxes of slabs. And this 84 Topps Wayne Gretzky caught my eye. He was asking $75, which is, a decent amount under comps, 10% under comps. Whenever I see a Gretzky in a high grade, that one's a 9. That Chamberlain there you saw just now, my dad ended up picking up for $80. I thought it was a great deal. But whenever I see a Gretzky in a high grade at a reasonable price, I like to pick those up. I don't have a ton of hockey cards, but I've got a few, and I like having them. And, Gretzky and Lemieux and Yager and some of those guys are the ones that are the bigger names to collect. A lot of highlight cards he had, but just you could see the boxes of slabs. And I didn't want to waste your time and show you all of them, but a few highlights of some of the ones that stood out to me. And you can see I pulled out the Gretzky. That Gretzky's in a 9 and looks perfect to me. I mean, it looks like a 10. You got some Mantle highlight cards. Recently did a video on multiplayer cards, and that Aaron Mantle was one of them. You got any room on this? You got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I know. Like $70. It's a really tough grade. I should have got a couple 10s in there.
You think?
PSA did me dirty. Oh, 100%.
Did you buy them? You open them or?
No, I bought
them raw.
Deal.
All right, I'll do 70.
So I bought that one. He took $5 off. Again, the comps are about 80, 85. So $70 I thought was a good deal.
That's too much of a.
And I'm always looking to pick up these types of cards.
80.
So I spent $70 there. Then I went back over to the dealer I had mentioned earlier, Justin. And really nice guy, really outgoing guy. He definitely is willing to move on prices and adjust. But the quantity of T206s is just one after another after another. If you're into T206s, this was the show for you. There were multiple dealers who had quite a few, and there were, lower grade, higher grade, SGC slabs, PSA slabs. And I really think that the mystique of the T206s continues to grow. And I really think that the commons, you can see A lot of these are commons, you know, for $80 to $125, kind of depending on the grade. I really think that the demand for those is going to continue to grow because at this point, they're almost like, you know, historical artifacts. And there's a lot to learn for me about T206s, and I am interested in learning. Here's Justin's information. He's t206cards.com. He's got a cool website, lots of inventory. A lot of his stuff is being added to his online website still. I've got a lot to learn about T206s, and I want to learn more about them. You know, there's different backs, and then there's portraits, and then action shots, and you know, then there's the whole thing about the stamps on the back, where different collectors stamp their cards. So some of those have different values. So I think they're awesome. It's hard for me at this point to plop down $75 to $100 on a common, but you know, I'm headed in that direction because I just think they're so cool. They're literally like pieces of art. But again, reach out to Justin if you're interested in picking up any of these cards catching your eye. He does a lot of set breaks. So, for example, he recently, I believe he told me he did a 53 top set break where you buy a spot in the break, and then he does a drawing to see what spot you get. And he likes doing those, and he lists those on his website where you could buy a spot in his breaks. You'll see here in a minute when we look at his case again, he has a 51 Bowman set break, or no, it's not a 51, a 52 Bowman, sorry, a 52 Bowman set break coming up. He had the mantle displayed. I think the mantle was a SGC 4.5. So if that kind of thing is interesting to you, another reason to check him out. But again, just the beauty of these cards as I'm going through them, you see some of these are really nicely centered. When he submits, most of his submissions are through SGC, which I totally get, especially in these old cards, these T206s, because they just pop with the tuxedo case and the slab. They just seem to really pop better out of SGC. I know he prefers sending to SGC largely because of the customer service, just in my conversations I've had with him. But again, look at these things. Some of them are gorgeous. A couple of them, once you get to the 3s and 4s, they might get up to $200 just because, you know, it's hard to find one without a crease. So when you find one in a 4 that doesn't have a crease, $200 is, you know, what they're going for now. I could have just gone through the box all day. He had quite a few. I'll say this too about this show, you know, really well run. But the dealers could not have been nicer people. I mean, generally speaking, people in the card community are nice people, right? But I don't know, that everybody at this show was so nice. So kind. I ran into a few people who have seen some of my videos and stopped me and said, hey, don't ever hesitate. If you ever see me at a show, don't hesitate to say hello. Remember, one of the main reasons I've got into this YouTube channel thing is to connect with more people. So, you know, if you've seen my videos and you want to say, hey, do it. And again, I ran into several of you and appreciate you stopping me and saying hey and taking pictures and stuff. That was a lot of fun. And those of you that I did meet could not have been nicer. And I really appreciate the positive feedback that you gave and continue to give me. It makes this a lot of fun for me as I continue to just kind of share my love for
Can I take
cards.
a look at the spawn?
Yeah, of course.
So there's the spawn I was mentioning earlier, and that is a recent sale. This one had some staining you can see at the top and along the right, and then you'll see when I flip to the back. It's some sort of staining on it, but the eye appeal of the front, the color just popped.
And then could I also take a look at the 53?
Really gave that one a good look. Love Warren Spawn and this Monty Irvin. It's a little higher than a recent comp, but again, Justin, he'll work with you on prices. This one I thought was better than the comp I just showed you. Really nice looking card. I don't know, something about Monty Irvin. He just seems, I don't know, he seems like a happy guy. He's so happy to be playing in the pros, and I don't know, his cards just jump off the page to me. It's sort of like Ken Griffey Jr.'s just got this $1 million smile. Monty Irvin was like that in the 50s. Go through another one of his boxes and just card after card. I'd like to have them.
Is that another 55 Williams under that one?
I showed up at this show really hoping to find some 1950 and 51 Bowmans. That's really what I'm kind of targeting right now. There weren't a ton.
Yes, of course.
But none that I quite could pull the trigger on. So it's interesting when you show up at a show and you're kind of like, I'm focused on this, but then there's all this other great stuff. You're like, wait a sec, I was going to buy some Bowmans, and now I'm looking at 48 Warren Spawns and 53 Monty Irvins. So it's hard to know what direction to go sometimes. Again, it's hard to argue that SGC really makes those cards. Look at that $1 million smile, Monty Irvin. It's hard to argue that SGC cards don't just pop with their slab that they've got going. One of my favorite cards is this 53 Bowman Warren Spawn. One day I'll get one of those. Cool Dobie. Justin has a lot of Larry Doby stuff, a lot of Mays stuff, a lot of Spawn, a lot of Aaron. Love those 56s. It's a nice Ashburn. Nice looking banks. Really good color on that one. I probably had 3 or 4 visits to his table just to look at his stuff over and over and just catch up. And first met him at that last show here in Concord. Pumpsy Green there. Family friend is friends with him. You got a Honus Wagner autograph there at the bottom. Now this case was unreal. Some of the stuff. This guy has some really, really high-end stuff. Really expensive stuff. See that Trish speaker there? You got a Mariano Rivera and a 10. Got a nice Jeter.
How much is your Aaron?
500.
This 57 Aaron I've always liked a lot. It's the reverse negative, where it looks he's left-handed, but
This is 325. This is
now this is a 5.5. The comp I'm showing you here is a 5. He's asking 500. Came back later to get a second look at it, and it had been purchased. Beautiful card. Centering is awesome. Clarity is awesome. Probably should have just pulled the trigger on it.
That Trish speaker.
that I'm at 900.
Took a look at the speaker too. Again, a lot of T206s at this show. Now this comp I'm showing you here is his card. This is it listed on eBay. If you're interested, you can check it out. It is for sale on eBay.
Both of them.
Yeah.
He's asking $900 at the show, but he doesn't have to pay eBay fees, so it makes sense that he'd be asking a little bit more on eBay.
I also have there's a couple of mantles, and then I have a Ted Williams that's somewhere over there as well. So.
What is the Honus Wagner?
I'm at 15 grand on that.
Yeah.
PSA 10 autograph of his stuff is like there's only 2 in existence.
Yeah.
So
You just heard him say that he wants 15 grand for that Honus Wagner autograph. It's a cut auto and it's a PSA 10. Again, you look at this case, and there's just some really nice stuff.
No, I just moved it on.
I got you.
It was the SGC1.
Okay.
Really expensive stuff. You'll continue to see. He's got a lot of hockey stuff here. But as we move over to this case, I mean, there's a Wander Franco gold vinyl contenders 1 of 1. I mean, that thing has to be a fortune. Just tons of stuff like that in this case. A lot of autographs of Hall of Famers. Got the 50 patches. Got a Curry auto. A lot of there. I think at the you got a couple of Jerry West autographs with the Mr. Clutch on there. Dr. J autograph.
He's good. He's just undervalued.
The Lodge one autograph, a Gerald Ford autograph. He had anything you could think of. So I moved on and found another guy. Again, there was so much vintage at this show. I would say the show was 70% vintage over new stuff. Canseco was signing in the other room, which is cool. I still like Canseco. Not sure why, but I do. A lot of raw stuff in this case. Really nice Dr. J rookie there in a PSA 6. There's a Campanella, 54 Campanella there you see that I took a really good look at. It was so sharp. I think he was asking about 130 for it maybe.
But yeah, so we're gonna do that.
And then some boxing autographs, always fun. Again, great job by the promoter of this show. Absolutely awesome show for vintage collectors. If you're in Northern California, you got to come check out the next one.